The third supplementary question is by the Honorable Swart.
Thank you, House Chair. Honourable Minister, the ACDP appreciates what you said earlier, but we are concerned that the South African government has said nothing about Russia ignoring a far more serious ICJ order based on the same genocidal convention that Russia should immediately stop military operations in Ukraine, yet nothing is said about that. However, we do and we appreciate that we should try to achieve lasting peace and at least a ceasefire in Gaza. And therefore, Honourable Minister, what role is South Africa playing, given its close ties with Hamas and its Iranian backers, to persuade Hamas to agree to a temporary ceasefire based on that very order of releasing all the hostages which you referred to earlier, and which is part of the order, and the lifting of obstacles for the provision of humanitarian aid? This seems to be the basis of the talks between the US, Egypt, Israel, and Qatar that are seeking to negotiate a pause in the war and the release of the hostages. Can South Africa, as the government, not play a greater role in that regard? Thank you.
Honourable Minister.
Well, Chairperson, I'm really a bit taken aback at the Honourable Swart's believing fake news. The government of South Africa doesn't have close relations with Hamas or with Hamas's backers. We have a normal relationship with Iran. I'm sure that is what he's referring to, a relationship of trade, and it is not in large volumes. I think it's also important to point out to the Honourable Swartz that the case of the occupied Palestinian territories cannot be equated with that of Ukraine and the war with Russia. As far as I'm aware, there is no NATO country that is supplying arms to the Palestinian people to defend themselves. There's not been a quantum increase in aid to Palestine to allow Palestinians to have food, fuel, water, and energy in fighting this war. All the support of the countries that provide support to Ukraine is given to Israel. So you're not talking of equivalence here. So I think it's very important that we do not, in one breath, refer to Palestine and the occupation by Israel and its onslaught, and the other, Ukraine and Russia. I do not regard the two as the same, and I'm sure the Honourable Swartz, in the deepest heart of hearts, knows that the two are vastly different. An occupation cannot be equated to the sovereign infringement of the territorial integrity of Ukraine, as we've seen with respect to Palestine. So indeed, we will continue, as I've pointed out, to the Honourable Mpanza's question. We are diplomatically engaging with all the various stakeholders. And of course, one is limited in the ability to state exactly what the nature of that engagement is. But I assure honourable members that we are seeking peace and we are seeking freedom and justice for the people of Palestine. I thank you, Chairperson.